Good morning. How are you today? This is Jazz, and I am an intuitive counselor. I am a certified moonologer. Welcome to your Amazing Life Collective and the Crystal Wisdom Healing. Today we are doing your moonology forecast for the weekend. You know that when you live with the moon, with the energy that's available out there, it helps you respond to life in a way that is much more where you feel a whole lot better, and it's more calm, and it's more, you find your flow. So even if there are some blow ups, even if there are some upsets, you can navigate those waters with more confidence. For instance, we just had the full moon in Leo. What did you notice over the weekend on Sunday, Monday about that full moon in Leo? Now it's a fire moon. Leo is a fire sign. And with that moon in Aquarius, depending where that is in your chart and what else is going on in your environment, what I'm noticing is that there's more propensity for that fiery energy. So more anger, more outburst, more like that roar going out, so that Leo just roaring out. And that can be constructive or it can be more destructive. So you can live something on either side on that construct. What happened in my house is that because we had that deep cold over the weekend, one of the brake lines for the car just exploded. So when my husband got up on Monday morning to go to work, he could not use a car, and that sparked up his anger. So the whole day on Monday, I had to it was about managing those anger outbursts and trying not to be triggered by all of that. So one of the reasons why I'm sharing that is that, yeah, things are not they're not perfect in my house. We still all have some issues to deal with. But also, when you know that there's a potential for explosion, for explosive behavior, for anger to just burst out, you can acknowledge what's going on and then respond to it, not react. So, when my husband presents with anger, I'm not reacting with anger. I really try hard not to anyway. But it's about being able to respond to the situation, diffusing the situation, because when you know that the energy is right for something to happen, you can either say, yes, this is what I want, and go with it, especially if it supports you towards your goal, or you can say, I want to diffuse a situation because it is not supportive of my well-being and it's not supportive of me towards my goal. Does that make sense? So that's why it's important to know the moon landscape, and it's important to know where that can pop up in your life, because depending where Leo and Aquarius are in your chart, you're going to feel this a little bit more differently depending on the houses where those signs are. So if you want to know that for yourself, contact me, message me, and let's set up a moonology session so that you can get illuminated on how the different energies can influence your life at any given time. For this weekend, we are still completing that full moon in Leo cycle, but the moon is now moving into Libra and in Scorpio for the weekend. So if you have not healed whatever popped up for the full moon this weekend, it's going to come back to sting you. Because remember, Scorpio has that stinger at the end of its tail, right? And Scorpio is that deep, kind of serious energy. But at the same time, when you piss off Scorpio, it just stings, right? That tail is with a thing, the stinger is just looking for a place to, where am I going to put that stinger? So if anger came up for you and you haven't dealt with it, you might just be ready to explode by the weekend. So take a moment to breathe deeply and to process any emotions that have come up. Otherwise, you might feel that you're acting out in anger, or that you're being very angry at people, or that you're very dissatisfied about your life, and you might not really know why, because it might be very subconscious. You might not be conscious of this. So take some time to journal today. how you're feeling, if you're really dealing with the emotions that are coming up, if you're dealing with the fiery emotions that are coming up, because if not, they'll come back to sting you. So that's your PSA. If you want to have support in doing in nurturing your emotions and becoming aware of your emotions, I have a few ways to do that with that statement that I am not a therapist, I am not a psychologist, and whatever I say does not consist of or replace psychological and medical treatment. But looking within with, either using chakra dance or crystal sessions, Reiki sessions, asking yourself the deep questions that I ask in moon circles is going to help you become very more aware of yourself. And where there's awareness, there's choice. So if you're aware that you're more meant to react to life, then if you have the will to change that, you can retrain yourself, you can heal yourself so that you're not so reactive anymore, but you become more responsive to the energy instead of being reactive. That makes sense. And the one thing that you really want to work on healing also for the weekend is that inner people pleaser. Because that inner people pleaser is all the ways in which you stop yourself from being true to who you are, because part of you feels that it's more safe to be who you perceive that other people want you to be. So in this Aquarius lunation, where we're talking about Aquarius being the innovator, the wisdom seeker, the authentic self, the quirky self, and Leo being like, I want to shine. So Leo really wants you to shine that quirkiness, that I'm different and this is who I am. This is what I do in life. This is how I show up, like your true self. And if you're not doing that, it's probably because part of you is still in that people pleaser archetype. So if you have a business, it might be because you want to please everyone and you want your business to be appealing to everyone, so you're not calling in the one that are right for you. If you're seeking new love, so single people out there seeking for new love, if you're not being true to yourself, you'll keep being in those cycles of attracting the wrong people. Then you'll ask yourself, why am I always attracting the wrong people? Why am I always stuck in those cycles? Well, ask yourself, are you trying to please what other people expect of you in terms of, well, this is what a true lover, this is what a good lover would do, this is what a good friend would do, this is what, a good whatever, those judgments, those perceptions that you have? Or are you willing to say, this is who I am, these are my needs, this is how I want to show up in relationships, and this is how I want a significant other to show up for me? Because when you're clear on that, you stop attracting the wrong people. And that is true for all types of relationships, whether it's loving relationships, client relationships, relationships with your kids, even relationship with money. It's a relationship with everything. When you can really open your heart, when you can really share your true self, it shows. There's a shine, there's a glow about you that cannot be faked. And people are appreciative and are attracted. Your true people are going to be attracted to that true vibe. And other people will fall away, and you need to let them fall away. So, kind of deep thoughts this weekend, isn't it? But that's the moon, and we're going into the last quarter of the moon, so it is a good time to become more introspective and to ask yourself those hard questions. Again, if you need some help to go through that, let's reach out, and we can do a moonology session for you, Reiki session, crystal healing session. I have so many tools, but the goal is always to help you find your own answer so that you can live your most amazing life. Remember that some other tools that I have for you are the group sessions, and I have a wonderful workshop coming up on Sunday, which is Heal Your Heart Chakra. And I have 3 spots left currently. It's $200. It runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Cornwall this Sunday. It's going to be amazing. It's a mix of chakra dance so that you can really go within and feel what's coming on and just like open your heart. And you'll also have a wonderful crystal healing session. So it's going to be an amazing day, a full day healing the heart chakra so that you can let go of the people pleaser, open your heart, and live a life that's more in flow. Also, if you can't make it in person, I have 2 journals now available on Amazon. So grab your copies and start journaling. So until next time, I'm sending you big, big love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.